Hey everyone, we're going to be doing something a little bit different this week, so as opposed to the normal weekly devlog, I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I got into making video games, and a little bit about how you can too. And as you may notice, this is my first video with the new microphone, so I have to spend less time editing out the imperfections in my gravelly voice, and more time actually putting effort into these videos. And it sounds less like I have a bag full of cotton balls stuffed in my mouth when I speak. So now that I've got that out of the way, let's get started. Now, the first time I really got into gaming, besides, playing the Nintendo Wii when I was just a wee lad, that was actually a pretty good pun, I'm going to keep that in there, was playing Minecraft. I started playing Minecraft on my mother's 4-year-old Acer laptop that I have the corpse of sitting in my basement to remind me of my past constantly. And from Minecraft, I tried to pick up command blocks, failed a little bit at that, tried to pick up modding, failed a little bit at that, and I didn't really start learning any actual programming until I hit high school and decided that it would be a great idea to take a programming class. And to my surprise, it actually was, despite the fact that I ended up getting a B in the class because I didn't study for any of the tests, but got all of my programs done in a minuscule amount of time. Picked up a pretty substantial interest in programming and decided to pursue a lot more programming classes in the future. So I picked up programming too, and then graphics, and then digital art, and then a lot of other classes. I was fortunate to go to a high school where there were a lot of electives offered, so you could basically take whatever the heck you wanted. And after taking all of those classes, I managed to make my way to the game design class. And despite the fact that the game design class was taught by, we'll just call her Mrs. Johnson because that was her name. Since the game design class was taught by Mrs. Johnson, who, despite trying her best, didn't really have the greatest understanding of how to make a video game, in the spare time between projects, I did a lot of my own projects, and for making mediocre games from the drag and drop in Gamemaker Studio, I developed the love for game development that I have today. And I also picked up the basis for the useful tool Gamemaker Studio to be precise. That is what I went home that summer and picked up for all of the time I've been game developing up until now. I actually still use it today. And this is where you can start as well, honestly. If you have an email, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial of Gamemaker Studio 2, and considering it's free to make an email, you can have as many 30-day free trials as you really want. And when you decide that this is something you want to get into, you can pick it up on Steam for $100. Or if you're lucky, $75, because gotta get those Steam sale bargains, And honestly, anyone can pick up Gamemaker. I mean, if you're familiar with Scratch, they've got a drag and drop function in it that lets you code similar to Scratch. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because coding like Scratch is doo-doo and you shouldn't do it ever. Disclaimer, I'm not shitting on people who use Scratch. I'm just simply saying that if you want to learn actual programming, you should jump to a scripting language as soon as possible. And I guess the moral of all of this is, if you want to learn to program, just start learning to program. There's a billion resources on literally any language. I started learning in Python, but that was just because I took a class in it, and that was the only thing they taught. But you can just pick up any engine, any language, just start programming, start making games. If this is something you want to do, just go for it. You don't have to sink a lot of money into a computer. If you're making a 2D game, it can run on a potato. Just start making games. That's all I have to say on the matter. And with that, I'm gonna sign off. See y'all in the next one.